In the United States, 21% of all children live in poverty. That's a rate higher than what prevails in virtually all other rich nations. In 2013, the National Center on Family Homelessness stated that 1 in every 30 children has experienced homelessness, citing lack of affordable housing as the primary cause of child poverty in the United States. However, there's an underlying cause to this: wealth inequality. In the US, the average employee needs to work more than a month to earn what the CEO makes in an hour. And in 2011, it was reported that the poorest 80% of Americans own only 7% of the nation's wealth, with the top 1% owning half of America's wealth. And ever since then, the wealth gap has only been increasing. But why? There are several causes for wealth inequality, but it essentially goes down to the fact that the wealthy possess greater financial opportunities that allow their money to make more money. Earnings from the stock market and mutual funds that are reinvested to produce larger return. Put simply, the rich use their money to earn more, while the poor have no savings with which to produce any returns or eliminate their debts. And unsurprisingly, affluent people are more likely to invest their money in financial assets, such as stocks and bonds, things that have very high rate of return and hold the possibility of capital appreciation, while those with little wealth are more likely to invest their money in savings accounts and home ownership. Given the inflation, a larger percentage of lower-class people's money is spent on basic needs, such as food, as prices go up faster than their wages could keep up, until they reach a point where they have to go in debt just to survive. All of this causes the gap between the top 10% and middle class to be over 1,000%, and another 1,000% between the upper class and the top 1%, as the bottom 50% of Americans own only 0.5% of the country's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, compared to the top 1% that owns 50% of the country's financial assets. According to the New York Times, the richest 1% in the US own more than the bottom 90%. And if we look closely, we see that the wealth gap is even worse when it comes to race, as the gap between white and black families nearly tripled in size between 1984 and 2009, with the main cause being the relative lack of inheritance that has been observed among African Americans, which is attributed in large part to factors such as unpaid labor and racial discrimination. And statistics show that 1 in 3 white households will receive a substantial inheritance during their lifetime, compared to only 1 in 10 for black households. But that's a topic for another video. In September 2014, a Harvard Business School study stated that the growing disparity between the very wealthy and the lower and middle classes is no longer sustainable.